This is the most versatile farm, featuring mystical agriculture. It offers an exceptional crop output, and with its modular form factor and curbside appeal, this makes the perfect farm for any base. Let's get into it. Alright, so these are going to be some of the basic things you're going to need for the first layer. Starting off at the first is going to be farmland. We'll need 72 blocks of farmland, and the reason is because within the 9x9, in the center of it, we're removing a 3x3, so 9 blocks total, which would equal 72 blocks of farmland, and that farmland is going to receive 72 packets of red fertilizer. And the red fertilizer, as it states in red, is going to help accelerate the growth of our crop, which is exactly what we want. In the center of the 9x9, we're going to be using oak logs, and this will just is really for the aesthetic. You can use a block of your choice, but this will allow us to stack these on top of each other pretty much as you want to. Surrounding the farmland is going to be some water. On top of the water, we're going to be using 40 lily pads of fertility, and this is per layer. So for the first layer, 40, second layer, 40. I'll have a video on how to make these. It is a bit of a process. Stay tuned for that in the coming future. Surrounding the lily pads to ring the entire crop will be stone bricks. That's just a block of my choice, but you can use any block that you'd like, and we would need 48 of those blocks. Coming up next, we're going to need 72 seeds of your choice. Just for this video, we're going to be using inferium seeds. And remember, with mystical agriculture, you can use tiered farmland and match it with the tiered seed, which will ultimately help increase growth speed. But for today's video, we're going to be focusing on a universal farm system. For the center of this, we're going to be using an harvester pylon with a netherite storage chest for the inventory. And housed in that pylon, we're going to be using an aluminium hoe, as it is unbreakable. And that's exactly what we want, so we can walk away and let this farm up everything that we need. For the alternate form of storage, how we're going to connect everything, we're going to be using the ME system from Applied Energistics 2. Something super simple, just a terminal, controller, drive, some drives to go in the drive bay, an export bus with acceleration cards, and basic glass cable. And then to power everything, we'll be using a creative energy cube, but obviously you can use power of your choice in your world, whatever suits your needs. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started on the base first layer. So let's go ahead and begin assembling. Start off by digging out a 9x9. So let's see, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, basic 9x9. Find the center. We're going to hollow that out, and then we're going to excavate around it in a 3x3 like this. So let's go ahead and go back. We're going to grab our harvester pylon, bucket of water, chest, and the hoe. Stick the pylon down, shift right click, place the chest, open up the pylon, set this to 9x9, and then we're going to input our aluminium hoe. Next, let's go ahead and grab our 17 blocks of choice. I'm going to be using oak logs. This is going to be the support that rises vertically. This will go up another block, so 3 tall total. Oops. And then around, just like so. And now before we place this last one, grab your bucket of water and just place some water where that harvester is, and then we can go ahead and seal that off. Sweet. So now we can go ahead and remove this dirt. Let's grab the farmlands. Alright, and as you can see, we're already taking water in the farmland from that one source block. That's not going to do it, as we're using the lily pads of fertility, so we're going to need to make a ring of water. So go ahead and go on the outside and create a ring. Now that we have that ring, we can go ahead and fill it with our water. Alright, now that we have water around it, let's go ahead and grab our lily pads. And these can just make their way around the crop. Next, we can grab our seeds and red fertilizer. We'll go ahead and lay the fertilizer first. Alright, and now we can start placing our seeds. Our first layer is pretty much done. As you can see, the farm is already chooching away. Go check our chest, and we are just farming up that inferium. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to enhance this even further. So the next thing we're going to do is grab the blocks of your choice for that ring, and we're going to start decorating this. Alright, with that done, let's go ahead and start setting up the ME system. Shift right click to place the export bus. We're going to go ahead and populate that with 4 acceleration cards. Start placing this up. This will connect the second layer. And now here's where it gets a little tricky for me, at least, because this is a super flat, only 4 blocks deep. I'm going to have to go in the void real quick, and I'm going to route this cable out from underneath just so we can get a clean aesthetic. One more. With that routed, we can go ahead and begin setup of the ME system. Place the power source down, place the controller, our drive bay. In fact, we're going to orientate this way. Go ahead and populate that. Add the terminal. You know what? Just to make this look even prettier, we're going to have this connect through this way. There we go. Out of sight, out of mind. Looks great. So at this point, this is a fully functioning farm. You could leave this like this and experience really nice and efficient crop growing speeds to help aid in your farming grind. However, I think we should build the second layer. So let's go ahead and go over exactly what we're going to need for that second layer. We're going to be needing 40 stairs, and this could be stairs of your choice. I'm going to be using spruce stairs, and 40 spruce slabs or 40 slabs of your choice. This is going to be the second layer on the outside, and then we're going to need 8 torches and 8 lanterns. This is for light, so this can continue to operate at nighttime. Following that second layer up top, we're going to need the same as we had the first layer with the farmland, the fertilizer. This is just fertilized farmland, so it's the fertilizer and farmland combined. The 17 oak logs or block of your choice, the 40 lily pads of fertility, the water, and 72 seeds of your choice. Let's get started on that second layer. Alright, grab the farmland, the logs, seeds, lily pads, slabs, and stairs. And we're going to start with the slabs, stairs, and farmland first. And we'll fill everything else out here in a second. And might as well grab the torches and lanterns, so everything in the chest. So while we're here, let's go ahead and add our torches on the corners of these logs. Like so. Alright, so before we go ahead and add the farmland, let's actually set up our harvester first. And the reason is we don't want the farmland to turn to dirt. So we're going to go ahead and place our harvester pylon. Place that bucket of water. And now we're going to go out 3 blocks, and we're going to mimic the first layer of farmland. And next we can go ahead and add our slabs. Come to a corner. Go down 1. Next, we can go ahead and add our stairs. Followed by the water. I do want to mention, don't place the water on the slab. It'll bleed through. Just go ahead and place it by right-clicking on the farmland as you go around, or the stairs. Then we can start placing our lily pads. Next, we can place our seats. Place our chest. Export bus, and Fluix cable. And populate that with acceleration cards. Add the hoe to the harvester. Set this to 9x9, and watch it go to work. Now we can add the final aesthetic touches of the lanterns. That's pretty much it. This is exactly what the farm is expected to be. And at this point, feel free to mimic this layer as tall as you want to and as high as you want to go. However much you feel like producing, you can make with the design of this modular farm. We can see that everything is hooked up and being exported into the ME system like so, and we are farming away at that inferium. 1 is not enough for me, 2 is not enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and build up a few more layers, add a roof, add some decoration, and I'll be right back. And we're back. As you can see, I added 2 more layers and a rooftop. And I gotta say, this looks absolutely phenomenal. The appeal to this is very, very pleasant. I added a little protective shrine around the ME system. And just in the time of me building this, we are, oh my goodness, 267,000 inferium. And mind you, this could be with any seed with the matching tiered farmland. Each layer after that mimics the second layer with the lily pads of fertility, the harvester pylon, the chest for storage, the export to the ME system, the 8 torches, 8 lanterns, and a nice decorative rooftop to go around it. And then around the property, I went ahead and added some cherry blossoms for that nice aesthetic, followed by a stone brick pathway. pretty nice. That pretty much concludes it for this video. If you like this tutorial, drop me a like. Leave me a comment of your thoughts, or if you'd do anything differently, or your experiences with this, with mystical agriculture and farming in general. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this in the near future, please consider subscribing, playing all the mods. And as always, I will see y'all in the next video.